What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Just kind of want to make a video talking about what I think about the playoffs so far. They're awesome. In my opinion, they are really good. Last night was the Clippers and the Spurs Game 7, and it was in LA. And man, that was so good. It was so good. It seems like both teams were just back and forth. One team would go up by 1 point, the other team would go back and go up by 1 point. Just back and forth, back and forth. You watch Chris Paul actually hurt his, I believe it was his right leg, I want to say, the back of his right leg. I don't know what's going on there. I haven't checked any updates today. However, you could tell he was in some pain. He just came off and he would have his head down and he'd have his head buried in his hands on the sidelines. He even left the game for a little while. So hopefully he'll be okay for the playoffs, because I don't want anybody to get injured. I want these teams at full strength so we can get some good quality basketball. With that being said, as I mentioned before, I'm a Cleveland Cavaliers fan. My Cavs did alright. They swept out Boston in the first round. However, we suffered two big losses. First off, as everybody knows, Kevin Love, he is out for, I think, 4 to 6 weeks. He had some shoulder surgery, and if you ask my opinion, I'm not going to be one of those guys who's like, oh yeah, he meant to hurt him, and I'm not like that. However, what happened was not a basketball play. I think he meant to grab his arm. He meant to maybe pull on him a little bit. I don't think he intentionally meant to dislocate his shoulder. I mean, I just don't see that happening. However, he did mean to grab him, and unfortunately, that's a big loss for us. And not only is it a big loss for us with Kevin Love being out, but then J.R. Smith ended up getting suspended a couple games as well for retaliation. And that is huge, because I think he's out 2 games. And those 2 games against Chicago, a team who's playing really well right now, are in Cleveland. And for not having J.R. Smith and Kevin Love in Cleveland, that's huge. And if we drop one of those games, that could be really fatal for us for this season. So I'm really hoping that obviously Kevin Love is going to be out for a little while and J.R. Smith is out those 2 games. But I'm hoping that at home, Kyrie Irving and LeBron James can put in that much more of an effort, and we can get some help off of our bench. I mean, we have a good bench. I mean, between like my guy Sean Marion, he's playing off the bench. He's older now, but I still enjoy watching him play. And there's just other guys that we have playing. Maybe we'll get some big time minutes from Timothy Mozgov. That man is just playing lights out. He's just so energetic, and he wasn't what I was expecting, actually. I didn't expect him to work out nearly as well as he did, but the chemistry is there for my team. So I'm really hoping that they pull through and can at least get the 2 wins in Cleveland and get back to as close to full strength as we can before we head to Chicago. I know we played Chicago 4 times this season, won 3 of those games, but regular season games don't count like playoff games count. The atmosphere is different. There could have been, I don't know, I'd have to go back and double check those games, but it almost, you never know who was out on injuries and this and that. You never know. But both teams are playing excellent, the best ball they've played all season long right now, and it's going to be really interesting to see how they play each other. See Washington, I'd like to see them advance the next round against Atlanta. I don't know why, but Atlanta's not really too intriguing for me to watch. I mean, they're a great team, and obviously they were the 1 seed and they did really well this season. However, I'd almost like to see Washington go and see what John Wall can do in the next round. And as far as the West, you guys know how I feel about the Warriors. I'd like to see them advance against Memphis. And Memphis is really tough, though. They've been playing really good as well. These last few seasons, they've been real good. And I'd like to see them, but I'd like to see the Warriors go on. I think the Clippers versus the Rockets, though, I'm really looking forward to that series. I think the Clippers should be able to pull it out. I think they have a better team. However, the Rockets, man, they are just on fire. And James Harden is just playing so well. He's playing to the MVP level like we were talking about before. And so that's going to be a good series. If I had to pick almost a Final Four, if you want to say that, I'd love to see my Cleveland play Washington in the East for the conference finals. And I'd like to see the Warriors, and I'd like to see the Clippers. I think I'll go with the Clippers. That's what I'd like to see. That doesn't necessarily mean that those are the teams that's going to make it. And I'd also like to say, watching that last game where Chicago was in Milwaukee, wow, that was tough. I was not expecting that. That was such a blowout. It was, I mean, they won by like 1,000,000,000 points, and you could tell right from the beginning, Chicago was just knocking in threes and just scoring right off the bat, and you could tell it was going to be an ugly game. I didn't think it was going to be that ugly, and it got real physical towards the end too. And actually, physicality in basketball is one of the next videos I'll be making here pretty soon. I might actually make it after I make this one. It's just something I want to talk about how physical the league is getting or is not getting. I want to see what y'all think. But if you have any comments or suggestions, please feel free to subscribe to the channel, like the video if you like it, and leave some comments down below. And give me your input. I'd love to start discussions on this stuff and see what everybody else is feeling. So I appreciate you watching, and have a great day. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.